Okay, this is going to be the Cogsworth makeup. So I've already applied a foundation base to the entire face. The only place I would like you to not put the foundation is over the lip because that's where the mustache is going to go. So don't apply there. But the first thing we're going to do is contour the face. So there's specific shading that I'd like Cogsworth to do. And I'm going to do my dark colors first. So we're going to do underneath the cheekbone. Apply pretty heavily because we are doing stage makeup. I'd like you to do in the front of the forehead. And on the other side under the cheekbone. The other place I'd like is on either side of the neck here. We're going to make this look a little bit more defined. If you have a smaller brush for this part, then great. Okay, look down. Good. Okay, then I'm going to apply my lighter color. Use as white of a powder as you can. And we're going to do on top of the nose. Do it pretty heavy. In front of the chin, and around the forehead. Then I'm going to put it right on the front of the throat. Okay, then I'm going to use a powder that matches the skin tone. And I'm going to blend all that in. By the way, this is a NYX contouring makeup palette. I found mine at Target, but I'm sure you can find it other places as well. So I'm applying this flesh color underneath the line so that there's not a harsh line of the dark color. We want it heavy, but we don't want to see that line from afar. Okay, and then I'll also do a light powder underneath the eyes here. Okay, from there, we're gonna add some blush. This is a hot pink Revlon blush that I like. We're just gonna apply this right in between these two colors. So between the light and the dark on the cheekbone, all the way in. Perfect. And I'm going to also do a little bit of blush on top of the nose. I feel like with that light powder, I don't want it to wash down. Okay, so there's the contouring powder. Again, please try to avoid as much on the lip as you can. We want that mustache to be able to stick straight to the skin. So that's for that. And the next thing I'm going to do is the eyebrows. I'm going to use a color that matches closest to the hair. So if they're a brunette, do dark brown. If they're blonde like she is, I'm going to use a light brown or tan, and I'm just going to trace the natural eyebrow. We really want the expressions seen as much as possible, and the eyebrows play a huge part of that. So we really want those to stand out and be seen really well by the audience. For the eye makeup, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a cream eyeshadow. I find that it helps everything stick pretty nicely, so I like this Infallible by L'Oreal, just their lightest color, and apply towards the entire lid and under the eyebrow of the eye. Okay, then we're going to do the crease. The crease I'd like to be brown, dark brown. So I'm going to go back to that palette that I used before, which is Nudes by CoverGirl. It is the brown palette. So I'm going to use the darkest brown and do the crease. And I'm going to start on the outside, following the natural crease of the eye and also the natural shape of the eyebrow. I'm going to start on the outside and do a curve. And work my way in. I start on the outside and work my way in because I want this to be heavier on the outside and lighter as it goes in. This is just going to help add the depth of the eye and of the face. You really want all of these lines to be seen. You are going to notice that I brought in the color a little bit onto the lid. If you were to divide the lid in 3 sections, the last section would be covered in this dark area. It just helps for blending. Okay, go ahead and open. Okay, great. That is all I want there. Cogsworth is going to do a dark brown eyeliner. So you can use a dark brown pencil, dark brown liquid. I'm actually going to use a powder for now. Up, and I'm just going to stretch the eye a little bit and apply it towards the bottom line. And it's going to be pretty light. I do want it seen, but I don't want it super heavy. Okay, I have a little bit of loose powder that came from that eye makeup, so I'm going to take a clean brush and just brush it away. If you don't have just a clean brush that you aren't using for other things, just use a cotton ball. Don't just smudge it with your hand, because then you'll find that it just smudges the color onto the cheek. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is the lipstick. For Cogsworth, I'd like to see just a natural shade of pink. This lipstick is called Stormy Sahara 945 by Maybelline. Anything you can find is great. This is just like the natural skin tone, but a little bit darker. And what I mean by that is it doesn't have a lot of pink and it doesn't have a lot of red. It's kind of a light brown, light tan. And so I'm going to apply that, have her loosen the lips, and just apply that here. Okay, then I'm going to use a lip liner. Try to find one that's in the brown category, not too dark, something that matches along with this tone. And then I'm going to trace around the lines just to give that defined look. We really want the lines of the face seen. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is the mustache. If you do any sticker mustaches, that's fine. That's what I'm going to use here. If you'd like to use a brushed in eyeliner, you can do that as well. I'm going to let it be your preference, but if you do get the stickers, please get a lot of them, because they are going to need to apply it several times throughout the shows and the dress rehearsals. And if you do the liner, make sure it's waterproof, and also pack it, because it will need to be touched up quite a bit. So this is just a sticker one. This is why I didn't want a lot of foundation here. I do have foundation on her lip here, but for later purposes, make sure you're putting it on the skin and not on the foundation. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it over the top, have her stretch that lip out, and just stick there. Make sure it's even. And then to get the whole effect, I'm going to put the hat on. Okay, this hat will also have a clock here. And then the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a black eyeliner and apply it to the nose in a little triangle. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to add 2 clock hands. We're not going to start at the nose dot. We're actually going to start at the edge of the nose. And I want one of them to face towards this corner of the eye and the other one to face a little bit more up. So we're going to do that. I'm using a brown eyeliner pencil, but I think I prefer that you use black. And they're just going to be small little arrows. Okay, so I made them pretty thick so that they can be seen. I also think doing black instead of brown will help. So that is the Cogsworth makeup. We will make sure we have a clock here, and that will be done.